Nick 2 Slasher Review.
Night 2, we're still in round 1. We're doing the right side of the bracket this week, though.
Yes.
The
So
white
two
right quadrants.
right quadrants, the upper right quadrant and the lower right quadrant. I'm a little drunk to be saying that.
It's a little bit hard to say right quadrant.
Yeah.
We could stop saying quadrant like I've been asking it to be done for weeks now.
I think we just stopped specifying quadrants.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Because
Next
I feel like
quadrant.
if we don't talk about which quadrant, then people get confused.
We don't want to confuse anybody.
I hate it. All right, we're doing the 80s and the 2000s this week. The winner of this I'm trying not to say quadrant. The winner of these matchups are going to move on to round 2. Last week was rough, man. And real quick, before we get into this, it's not a horror court. Maybe like a horror spotlight. Real quick, something positive
Okay.
here.
Wow.
So, yeah, something positive.
We don't do that on this. That's not our brand.
Especially during Murder Madness. I was talking to Will the Thrill.
Thrill me.
And he was in the Discord and he was complaining about the Jaws matchup. Who did Jaws lose to? Hold on, actually I can check the spreadsheet.
Jaws had kind of a rough matchup. Black Christmas, right?
Black Christmas, yes. And that's kind of what I said to Will. And I didn't get I got a little defensive because, you know, we have a little bit of PTSD about these damn brackets with Murder Madness here. This is the 4th time we're doing it. So Will said, and he brought up a couple other matchups, and he was like, wait, no. I'm not mad at what you guys chose. I'm mad at the wheel for making the matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick round of applause for Will.
Will the Thrill.
That's the thing about this. We don't seed these. It's all random in the first round. So sometimes that bites us in the ass.
Thank you, Will, for directing your anger appropriately at the wheel. The wheel.
Everyone
hates us
should hate
all.
the wheel.
Yeah.
No one does that. And I said to Will, I'm like, dude, I love you, man. Like, there's no one. We have heard so much shit. We've gotten iTunes reviews bitching about this damn tournament. And it's so constant. Greg and Chris were mad. Nesto was saying something. It was a mess after we do this. And we've never had anyone blame the wheel. They always just yell at us. It's a beautiful thing.
The wheel puts us through some shit. Thank you for acknowledging that, Will.
Yeah, shout out to Will for that. People don't understand the pain. We don't like doing this. Painful. All right, so we're going to spin the wheel. We're going to figure out the first matchup in the 80s, right? Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go.
And the upper right quadrant.
Holy.
Ooh, okay.
Child's
Okay.
Play 1988. Let's go.
Okay.
Starting off strong.
I'm nervous here.
The one with the fake Chucky.
I'll fuck you up. Oh, no.
Oh!
Killer Clowns from Outer Space 1988.
Will,
Thrill me.
I still love you and I meant everything I said, bro. I don't know what to do here, guys. This one sucks.
This one's rough for me because sometimes I can put them up against each other and be like, which mood am I in more often, or which one am I more likely to watch? These both kind of fill the same niche for me.
What does the post-it say again, though, Kat? Better is greater than fun?
Yeah, better is greater than fun. It's what the post-it note says.
Using that logic, to me, this is Child's Play.
Ooh, okay. So here's the question, though. The post-it doesn't cover this. The drunk post-it doesn't cover all my situations. What if they're both fun horror movies? If that's like the niche, is fun better than better?
I don't think that the original Child's Play is so much fun. I just think it's a good slasher movie.
It has a little bit of elements of fun though. Like
Well,
it's a
yeah.
killer doll. It
By the
has
nature
to.
of Chucky, but I
Right.
don't think that it leans into it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's not trying to be campy.
You know what, Rob? I was leaning toward Killer Clowns, but you're right. The Post-it note has spoken, and I do think Child's Play is maybe the better slasher.
Oh no.
Although you could argue the design was really phenomenal from Killer Clowns.
That's what I'm
There's
saying,
a
man.
lot to like about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's a very good movie.
And the effects were incredible.
It's extremely successful at what it's trying to do.
Okay, I'm leaning Child's Play at the moment. I could be swayed if Mikey wants to make a case for Killer Clowns.
I don't know what to do.
Mikey doesn't even know that he wants to vote for Killer Clowns, though. So I think I'm leaning Child's Play. I think I'm going Child's Play.
I have no idea what the fuck to do here.
The only unfortunate thing about you going Child's Play also, Kat, is that it lets Mikey off the hook.
It does kind of let Mikey off the hook.
But that's not fair. They're such different movies. Like
Mikey's reluctant to get off the hook anyway, though, it seems.
Mikey's very upset that the wheel is not fair, like he's new here.
The wheel is being mean to Mikey again today. And after the 90s run,
I've never thought of these movies in the same atmosphere as each other. Like the two of them have never crossed my mind at the same time is the thing. Holy shit. This is hard. Did you both just go Chucky?
Yeah, I think so.
Holy shit. I'll go Killer Clowns out of respect then.
Okay. I kind of feel, I don't feel great about this one, but I do feel like Child's Play, I definitely watch it more often.
Better is greater than fun.
Better is greater than fun.
That's what I learned.
But dude, if you look at the effects, the practical effects on Killer Clowns, that was way better. Like that was incredible. That's still unmatched.
I don't know, man. Better than Chucky. They did some amazing shit to make that doll work.
They did, but that's more, mechanical. This was just
There's still effects. It's just practical effects, man.
You're right. I'm not taking that away from it, but man, it's something to be. There's a floor hiding a bunch of people moving a puppet under there, which is impressive and a lot of work. But God, those effects were beautiful on screen in Killer Clown.
And I do really, it's worth, if anything had swayed me, it would have been the design element of Killer Clowns. Yeah. Like they had an aesthetic in mind and they nailed it 100%, you know?
Yeah. You're on the 2000s wheel again, Mikey.
Fuck me.
Get in the right quadrant. We are in the upper right quadrant, Mikey.
All right. Will, I'm sorry. Will was worried about that. Yeah. And for them to go out first round is unfair. Holy shit.
Will's a big fan of that movie.
The wheel heard Will talking shit about it. It was like, hey.
Yep, the wheel came for you, Will.
See? God damn.
It's a motherfucker.
It came for Will. This wheel is fucking, oh my God. I feel like we mess with a Ouija board every goddamn year. See the next matchup. That sucked.
That's rough.
Psycho 2 from 1983. A movie that I'm very glad to see on this list.
My idea too, I'll point out, Rob.
Yeah, because I do think it's a movie that's slept on.
Yeah. Especially when we talk sequels. Like it never comes up and it's very good.
Yes. Written, by the way, by Tom Holland, who also wrote and directed Child's Play.
Oh boy.
Against Cujo, 1983.
Well, I just said a lot of
what's happening here. Do you see the pattern?
What?
Look at the first matchup. Both movies from 1988.
Oh.
Second matchup, both movies from 1983.
The wheel is getting clever.
Yep.
Wow. It's learning, guys. This is bad. It's toying with us is what it's doing. It's Cujo for me.
Yeah, I'm trying real hard to think of a way for it to be Psycho 2. I'm not really coming up with it. And Psycho 2 is extremely slept on as a movie. I think it's very good. But Cujo, I mean,
masterpiece.
Yeah, I think I'm with Mikey. I think it's Cujo.
It's definitely Cujo for me.
Yeah.
I really wanted Psycho 2 to make a little noise in this. We were just talking
Yeah,
about it. Fuck.
I did too.
So here's I was gonna say this, but the wheel was already spinning and Cujo was already coming up. The thing about Psycho 2, I do think it's slept on in like sequel discussions, but there are not a ton of movies on this list that I think I would vote for Psycho 2 after. I'm not gonna say none, but not a ton of them. Like
It's true.
and Cujo is
Yeah,
just
that's-
so solid.
No, that's a tough matchup. Psycho 2 out the door.
Up next is Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, 1986.
Phenomenal film.
A movie that does not rate on the scale of fun.
This does
No.
not rate on the scale of fun.
I feel like this matchup's gonna be tough.
But remember, better is greater than fun.
It is.
Better equals greater than fun.
The Thing, 1982. I'll go ahead and say it. This is easily The Thing. I don't even have to think about it.
Hey Rob, you wanna know what I picked?
Huh?
Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Are you
No
kidding,
bullshit.
Mikey?
No bullshit. I swear to God, no bit, no nothing. I think it's a better movie.
Okay, listen. Better is greater than fun. But there are, and I do think that when you look at what Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer was trying to do, I don't think they could have done much better than they did. Like, it's a very well crafted and upsetting movie, which is what they were going for. They nailed it. I can see the argument. But The Thing is so tense and iconic. It's a great watch. There's no way that The Thing doesn't pass. Like
Michael Rooker, Henry doesn't wear a hat nearly as cool as Kurt Russell's.
I know I'm not changing anybody's mind here, man, but it is an unfortunate matchup for that movie because they're getting fucking heavy hitters. This one's mean. This could have made noise because it is such a well done movie, and they did not have a lot to do, money financially. They did not have a lot to work with here, and they made you uncomfortable. It was incredible.
I do want to throw it out here, though, that I am kind of glad it went down in the first round. There are a lot of movies on this list that I think I would have voted under Henry.
Yeah.
And I would have gotten into some shit really fast.
No, I mean, looking at the list of what is left, I'm like, Henry could have beat that. Henry would have beat that. Henry.
Yeah.
But it drew one that it didn't have a chance to beat in my mind.
It beats it
the
for
wheel,
me.
I feel like, was being kind to me in that particular round. It was saving me from myself.
Rob, how do you feel about me? That's a serious pick too, man.
I know it is. Mikey, it's not a surprise that you're dumb.
Okay.
Ow.
See how many dumb picks you make here in a minute. You're gonna say something dumb.
Ooh, okay.
My Bloody Valentine, 1981. Most Canadian movie ever made.
This is, I hate when this comes up on when we do Murder Madness, man, because I always want it to win so fucking bad. And sometimes it doesn't.
Up against Nightmare on Elm Street.
Please, God, no.
I do feel like this movie has gotten the short end of the straw several times.
Yeah.
It was one spot away from Nightmare on Elm Street, guys.
Up against Poltergeist, 1982. Is there any doubt that this is My Bloody Valentine?
None whatsoever.
Before we hit record, what did we say? Poltergeist was the last movie added to that. We had a spot open because there's a lot of good movies from the 80s. Which one's going to take the last spot? What did we say when we added in Poltergeist thing?
People will be upset if it's not there, but we don't think it's going to do well.
It's always the little engine that could. It's the little movie that could, man, always. And it's just never fucking good enough. Yeah. It's My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
Oh, now we've got The Shining, 1980.
Okay.
One of Greg's favorite movies.
Yes,
Hold on a
Greg
second.
insisted that we put this on the list. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Kick Ghostface in the dick.
Going up against. Hmm.
Well, Greg's
Friday the
about to be
13th,
happy with us.
Part 6, Jason Lives, 1986. Well, clearly for me, this is Friday the 13th, Part 6. It's my favorite in the franchise, in my opinion, the best in the franchise. And I don't like The Shining.
Did we cheat a little bit on this? Because we took the original of every franchise but Friday the 13th.
I don't remember how we landed on that.
I mean, because we have to have Jason in here as one.
Yeah,
I think.
I think so. But and then once we decided that it was going to not be the original Friday the 13th, then it kind of opened up the entire franchise for us.
I just want to throw out here, though, we had a lot of discussions about like which sequels from the, like, we voted on which nightmare to pass through.
Yeah.
We talked about which Saw
Dead.
movie, you know, the Evil Dead. So I think it's just, this is a case where the sixth one of the Friday the 13th is the only sequel that we passed through over the original. Like, I don't think it's cheating. I think
fair.
it's just how the numbers worked out.
Yeah. Also, Mikey, take The Shining off the wheel.
On the oh shit. Rob paying more attention to me. What the fuck's going on here?
Driving me nuts with that.
I mean, yeah, I'm going Friday as well.
Oh, I'm absolutely going Friday also. We've got to sleep for that one.
Oh boy.
Ooh. The
Okay.
Evil Dead, 1981. This puts me in an interesting position because this is one that I was fighting hard to get the Evil Dead 2 on here instead of this one.
I'm kind of surprised that Evil Dead 2 isn't the one that would. I'm pleasantly surprised because I'll always go to bat for the original Evil Dead. I have a lot of love for that one that not everyone seems to have. But I am surprised that 2 wasn't picked just because I do feel like I'm in the minority there.
Yeah, I just argued for Evil Dead 2 because it's better.
Well, I don't know about that.
See what Evil Dead goes up again.
For the record, Army of Darkness also better.
Well, hang on.
Man.
Ooh, Sleepaway Camp, 1983.
Bye, Sleepaway Camp.
Well, I'm going to throw my vote for Sleepaway Camp.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Are you punishing us for not picking Evil Dead 2? What the hell?
No, I like Sleepaway Camp. I think it's a good movie.
More than Evil Dead?
Yeah. I don't think the
God
original
damn it,
Evil Dead's
Rob.
that great. Like I said,
It's so great.
it's like third or fourth best in the franchise, in the franchise.
You stop that.
Damn.
Rob.
I mean, seriously, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and Evil Dead Rise. I would rather watch any of those three.
Okay, well, I wouldn't, but even if that's true, I don't think you can punish Evil Dead just for it being an incredible franchise.
But why are you punishing Sleepaway Camp for being an awesome slasher movie?
Because it's not good.
I mean, I'm upset Sleepaway Camp is in the position it's in, but it's Evil Dead.
You guys are stupid.
I can't believe, like, it's so clear to me. And I like Sleepaway.
It's not even a contest.
If this was Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness or Evil Dead Rise, then yes, I would agree with you. But it's I Sleepaway Camp.
Wait a minute. So you think Evil Dead? Okay, Evil Dead Rise. For some reason, my brain went to that middle remake. I was going to say.
No.
Okay.
No, we're going to talk about that one.
Yeah, dude, it's clear to me. And again, I like Sleepaway Camp a lot. I don't like it that much.
I will say, I do like. I'm giving a lot of shade to Sleepaway Camp right now. I like it fine, unless I'm comparing it to other movies.
What is your beef with Sleepaway Camp, Kat? It's a good movie.
It's when you don't compare it to anything else. It's great.
I'm not that heartbroken over it. I just think you guys are wrong. That's all.
We got 2 matchups left in the. Oh my god.
We've got the We've got 4 heavy hitters left.
Yeah. Holy shit. Okay. Been in the wheel.
I don't know how I feel about some of these.
2 more matchups in the 80s. Okay.
Creep Show, 1982.
The wheel has the potential to really piss off Mikey right now.
Damn, man. Chris, there's a very realistic chance here that Chris is going to be mad.
Hell of a deal.
I'm just saying.
I live with that chance all the time.
I'd also like to point out, everyone keep in mind, Tom Atkins is in Creep Show.
Nobody cares. I'll have you know, Tom Atkins' blurred out ass is in the new YouTube video for Murder Madness that came out. It was about to go out.
He slaps the shit out of that kid in Creep Show, too.
Oh, boy.
Against Hellraiser, 1987.
I don't like this matchup because I don't trust either one of you. Rob doesn't like Hellraiser, and
It depends on what you don't trust me to do, Kat.
I feel like it's obvious what I don't trust you to do. I feel like you're not about to do it.
I think I know what Rob's going to do.
Rob is going to vote for Creep Show.
God damn it, Rob.
And I don't think that that's a surprise to anybody. That movie is holds a very special place in my heart. I do really like Creep Show. It's one of a handful of anthology movies that I absolutely love. I'm not crazy about anthologies, but I really like Creep Show. I think it's brilliantly directed by George Romero. I love the way they recreated the look of the comic books. I think Creep Show is the better film.
That's not what I thought you were going to do.
That's exactly what I knew you were gonna do.
So it's on me, huh? All right.
Well, maybe Kat's
Yeah,
going to
'cause
vote for Creep Show.
It goes without saying, I think, but I'm very clearly going Hellraiser. The practical effects in that movie, I think the story holds up really well. As a franchise, I don't think it fares particularly well, but that first one
Well.
is so good. I love Kirsty. I love the antagonist. I love the mythology that they got in there. Frank was great. Julia is a fantastic killer. I love it all the way around.
Creep Show is a terrible franchise also.
Yeah.
But the first one is amazing. And I don't see how anybody could vote against it, to be honest with you.
Well,
Oh boy. All right. Well, everyone knows how much I love Creep Show. I'm on the side of Tales from the Crypt. Big Tales from the Crypt fan. But Creep Show is that same vein. It was what laid the groundwork for Tales from the Crypt. I love it.
yeah.
That being said, this one's clear, Hellraiser.
You are an idiot. It is
All
not
right.
clear.
Thank
It's
you,
clearly
Mikey.
Creep Show, which is the better made movie.
No, it's not, man.
It's not.
And-
It is
I-
a much better made movie than Hellraiser. Hellraiser's not even that good.
not.
And
Hellraiser is good.
look at the aesthetics and everything that George Romero.
Look at the body horror in Hellraiser.
You are picking a Clive Barker film over a George Romero film. Both of you should be ashamed.
I would not always do that, but I very often would do that. Clive Barker's amazing.
He's an amazing
That's a
writer. He's
fair
not an amazing
matchup.
director. Have you seen
He
Nightbreed?
did really good. Oh, listen, we're not talking about Nightbreed. We're talking about Hellraiser.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not a
true.
very good
man.
movie. It's just not that great. And the tone of Creep Show is captured perfectly. You got Stephen King walking around talking about meteor shit. It's awesome. Tom
Look.
Atkins slapping a kid. You guys are idiots.
You know I have no joy
Wow.
in this. You know that. I don't like it. But dude, the franchise got wacky. Agreed. You're not gonna hear any argument from me there. Love Pinhead.
The box.
All that shit. But man, that first movie. Oh my God.
Didn't we go over with this when we reviewed the first movie on the show? Like, I just don't think it's that great.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but you're in the
I
wrong.
don't think so. That
Is the thing. We went over it, but you're crazy.
doesn't sound like me, Kat.
Yes, it does. Like I said, I hold no joy in this, Rob. I do not like having to do this, but dude, it's clear. And it's one of those, it's just a bad
I
matchup.
don't think it's that clear, though. I think you guys are wrong.
This is a clear for me. And for the record, when we discussed Hellraiser, I gave it a 9.5. Kat gave it a 9.2. and
Mhm.
Rob gave it a 7.2. Proud of that.
That's so low.
Not even approved.
I'm surprised it was that
7.5.
high, to be honest with you.
Rob!
I don't think it's a very good movie. But all right.
Like I said, the other ones, I'll be on your side for some of them, but not it. I'll be damned if it's going to be that one, man.
All right. Go ahead.
All right.
You're wrong. It's fine.
And there it is. Hellraiser.
Sometimes
moves
this
on.
show would be better, I think, if I just did it by myself.
All right. Last matchup. Oh, like
That's what we should do. We should all submit that can be our YouTube content. We all submit we do like presentations on how we would have filled out the bracket if it were majority rule.
yeah. All right. So last matchup, A Nightmare on Elm Street against The Return of the Living Dead.
This one's hard.
hate this. It's not hard, but I hate it.
No, it's hard.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let Rob go through his reasoning if he wants. This one's not hard for me. It's sad,
Yeah.
but it's not
Really?
hard.
You don't find this one hard at all? I think The Return of the Living Dead's so good.
I think it's really good, and I think it doesn't get as much love as it deserves, and I wish that it had a better matchup on the wheel, but it's not better than Nightmare on Elm
I heard the
Street.
show Tom Matthews is in it.
It's not better than
We had a great
Nightmare on
interview where
Elm
we talked to
Street.
him about it.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Tom Matthews. Absolutely. Love him to death.
We never
he's-
once talked to Robert Englund about Nightmare on Elm Street. He won't come on the show.
I'll say this. Robert Englund's publicist has told me no way more than Tom Matthews has. So that counts for something, right? But no, dude, I love this movie. It ain't beating Nightmare.
You guys are both voting Nightmare.
I am voting Nightmare.
Yes,
All
I
right.
gave Return of the Living Dead. This is another movie that we talked about on the show. I gave it a 9.8. I gave it the highest. I'm not happy here.
You gave it a 9.8, and you're still going to say it's not as good as the Nightmare on
8.9.
Elm Street.
I'm high. I'm sorry.
Oh,
8.9.
all right.
Still the highest. You gave it an 8.2. Kat gave it an 8.3. Great movie, but come on, man.
So you actually liked it the least out of anyone here. Rob.
Yeah,
Fuck.
but
The thing is, yeah, A Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, at the risk of ruining my later answers on this bracket, A Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite 80s movie. Like, I'm going to have a tough time voting against that one.
clearly,
or
if you're not
anything.
ready to bump it off for this one.
No, I'm not.
All right, well, you guys are
I
both
wish
voting
I were.
Nightmare. Look, I'm not going to get mad at you for picking A Nightmare on Elm Street, for fuck's sake, but
Yeah.
I'm going to give The Return of the Living Dead the pity vote it deserves.
Are you
All right.
ruling it a pity vote though? Is the question? Is it a pity vote?
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
I'm running into
Mr.
that thing
Nightmare on
because I
Elm
do
Street
think A Nightmare on Elm
tattoo.
Street's a better movie and better is
Where-
greater than fun. But if you said to me, which one would you rather watch? More often than not, the answer is The Return of the Living Dead because it's so much more fun.
I just want to put this out there. Rob, who gave the lowest rating to The Return of the Living Dead, is the only one that voted for it over Nightmare on Elm Street, even though he has a Nightmare on Elm Street tattoo on his body for the
You
The
rest
dumb
only
of
one of the
bastard.
three of us who has a nightmare tattoo, by the way.
Tell the listeners, for anyone who doesn't know how you got that tattoo.
I went to a tattoo place and got it.
Yeah, but what made you pick that one? There was a lot of tattoos.
There were numerous tattoos and various factors, and I picked it.
So you're not going to tell them that you picked up some girl in Orlando and you guys
I didn't
got
pick up a
matching
girl in
tattoos together?
Orlando. We've been over this.
He didn't pick up a girl in Orlando. They just have matching tattoos for life.
Right.
It's fine.
Rob, if we walk up to strangers, and I've told strangers to you this story before, what do you think they're going to believe, man? You just
I'm
leave
just
it alone.
saying, listen, that's not how it went.
Sure. All right. 2000s.
This is now the lower right quadrant.
This one's going to be really rough for me, I feel like, because this is the quadrant I'm most passionate about, I think. That might not be true. 70s might have been the quadrant I was most passionate about.
Let's see the first matchup. Oh, boy.
Okay, it's not been rough to me so far.
Paranormal Activity, 2007.
I have a feeling you two are about to really ruin my fucking night.
A movie with a disappointing lack of a sex tape.
See what's going up against. Come on.
Rob didn't even need to wait for the matchup. He was just prepared to ruin your night.
No whammies. Oh, for crying out
What are you
loud.
talking about,
Dude,
ruining
for real, bro. Why is the second batch we do always fuck me?
The Devil's Rejects, 2005. And now here's what the bitch of this. Mikey's complaining already. I'm the one who has to pick one of these movies as being better.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
But you're gonna do the right thing, though, right, Rob?
I don't know what that means, Kat. You keep saying I'm going to do. Are you going to do the right thing? As if I know what answer you're expecting me to give. I don't know. Somebody else talk. Why am I?
Dude, this isn't even hard for me. What do you mean? It's Devil's Rejects, like all day, obviously.
It's very clearly Devil's Rejects.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Fuck it. Devil's Rejects. I'll trust you guys.
Yeah, like this one's.
Although I think I gave Paranormal Activity a higher score than I did Devil's Reject.
Man, you had to have. Yeah, I guarantee it.
I do think there's something to be said, though, for I think Devil's Rejects was better at doing the thing it was trying to do than Paranormal Activity was at doing that thing. Unless that thing was marketing.
You gave Paranormal Activity a 5.9. That was way higher than I thought you would.
We know that thing wasn't a sex tape yet.
Yeah.
What did I give Devil's Rejects, though?
You gave Devil's Rejects a 3.3.
All right. So, yeah, Paranormal Activity is a better movie.
You want me to remind you what I gave the Devil's Rejects?
No.
I'm going to tell you anyway, a 9.3.
You're so dumb.
You gave it 9.3?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cat gave it a 7.1.
That feels high.
We're moving forward.
What did we pick? Devil's Rejects?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you trusted us, he said.
All right. What is this now? This is going to be a tough one for me because I don't give a shit about most of these movies. Dawn of the Dead, 2004.
All right, Vanna White.
One of the most overrated remakes ever.
Don't be too enthusiastic.
Finalist in our remake
Don't get me started on that either.
bracket.
Ooh.
Freddy vs. Jason, 2003.
Oh,
I mean, this is. I like one of these movies and I don't like the other, so I'm going Freddy vs. Jason.
Easily Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is that better equals greater than fun, but I also strongly prefer Freddy versus Jason.
It was better.
I think Dawn of the Dead might be a better made movie in a lot of ways. But I'm gonna watch Freddy versus Jason pretty much every time.
Easily.
So I was afraid I might have to tie break that one, and I wouldn't have felt good about it either way. I do feel better awarding the sweep though.
Sure.
Like
Okay.
that I'm comfortable with.
Fair enough.
Finally, we get to one I really do care about. Let the Right One In, 2008.
One of your favorite movies.
I should have known.
Going
'cause
up
it was
against
2008.
Martyrs from 2008. Look, clearly this is Let the Right One In, right? We all agree? Damn it, Kat.
We don't all agree.
Oh, no.
Listen, here's the thing: is I know that Let the Right One In is gonna be the one that passes through.
I don't know that because Mikey's insane, Kat.
I don't think Mikey's insane. I think he might vote. Probably will vote for you on this one, but obviously I do think Martyrs is the better film. I think it took more creative risks. I think it has more to say about society. I think it's really well done. I don't think we have anything comparable to Martyrs.
Yeah,
To
or
really
we
compare it to.
have Let the Right One In, the best vampire movie ever made. No,
Debatably, and
I just said it.
well, you say a lot of things, Rob.
He sure does.
And where are my balls?
Oh, I like Martyrs. Like that's the thing. Like Rob gives a lot of shit. Like I don't like it as much as Kat does, but I
It's
like
not
Martyrs
good,
a lot.
really. Also, this whiskey's starting to burn a hole in my stomach. Is that good or is that bad?
Hell of a deal.
Oh no. It means it's good whiskey.
It means it's good for content.
You might be in trouble, but
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Shit pants he wasn't wearing. The man's a marvel. Cat, it's let the right one in for me.
Thank God.
Like
yeah.
It truly is. Like Martyrs would have beat a good amount of shit on this list for me. It's just not this one. Like let the right one in is a very well made. Like this was a bad matchup.
Yeah, I mean, think about it this
That's
way, Cat.
unfortunate.
Let the Right One In is so good that when they did the American remake, they couldn't even fuck that up.
That doesn't mean a lot to me though, because they fuck up. The only movie that I've seen that we haven't fucked up has been Funny
Right,
Games.
but Let the Right
so-
One In was so good, it was impossible for even Americans to fuck it up. That's what I'm saying.
I don't. Well, hang on. I don't think that has anything to do with the quality of Let the Right One In, though. So much as like I think they gave it to someone who didn't change it.
You
too
are wrong
much.
an embarrassing amount tonight.
The American remake of Martyrs could have been good if we had followed the same plot line as Martyrs. Like I stick to that pretty strongly.
Damn, that was a rough matchup. The two movies
That
that
was a
you
rough
two
matchup.
fucking love. God, this wheel's fucked up. Only the three of us and Will understand.
The Hills Have Eyes, 2006.
I like this movie a lot. I hope it doesn't get a win.
I like it. I don't know that I like it a lot, but I do like it.
I do like it also.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I don't like it that much. Shaun of the Dead, 2004. Kat, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'll go at Shaun of the Dead all day.
I'm reading a book currently about the making of Shaun of the Dead called You've Got Red on You.
Oh, is it? You've Got Red
Yeah.
on You. I loved that book.
It's a great book. It's a wonderful read. Shaun of the Dead's a terrific movie. It is Shaun of the Dead all day long.
Yeah.
I will say I do like The Hills Have Eyes. There were some movies on here, some places where I could see it picking up a win, but not against Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, there were a couple
Yeah.
that I would have voted out for the. There are maybe even a couple surprising ones I would have voted out for The Hills Have Eyes. I like it a lot. I think it's gotten better with time.
Yeah.
It might be better than the original, even, which doesn't happen.
It's
real
in my
often,
opinion
Oh,
definitely better than.
absolutely,
I don't think
yeah.
the original is very good, but yeah, I mean it's Shaun of the Dead.
but it's not
Yeah,
Shaun of the
I mean, this
Dead.
is- no.
I'll throw a pity vote to it though. I'm comfortable doing that. I like it a lot.
All right.
Next matchup.
From 2001, we have Jeremy Melton.
There he is.
He's here.
The nose bleeding pants wetter.
Yep,
Jeremy Melton.
Jeremy Melton.
He's in every bracket, ladies and gentlemen. He's always here. We're not gonna break it.
Going up against a movie that didn't need the free pass, Trick or Treat, from 2007. Now, I have heard, guys, word on the street is that Jeremy Melton bodies all.
Is that what they're saying now?
That's what the kids are saying.
Kick
Mhm.
him in the dick.
I hear it
We're
on
not raising the
TikTok.
kids right.
I hear it on TikTok all the time. But we're all pretty much in agreement this is Trick or Treat, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 All right, good.
Jeremy Melton loses.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. The bit stays alive.
Yeah.
There will come a time, maybe, where Jeremy Melton comes up against something that he can beat, but we have yet to find it.
No.
I will say, it could happen statistically. There was one movie, and I won't say what it was, that I would have voted for Jeremy Melton over.
Are you talking shit about Creepshow again, Cat? I swear to
I'm
God.
wrong quadrant.
There is nothing. If we took Rob's pants that he shit that he wasn't when he wasn't wearing and put it up against Jeremy Melton, they would lose. Jeremy Melton would lose.
Well, yeah,
Easily.
my pants.
Well, that was a legend. Ooh. Ooh.
Mm.
Oh, Strangers 2008. That might lose to Jeremy Melton.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
We've been over this, Mikey.
You're out of your mind. Let's see what's going up against. You guys are gonna make me mad.
Probably, statistically.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, 2006. What do you think now, Mikey?
I don't know how I feel about this.
I think it's The Stranger.
I think
That's
it's
right, I
Behind the
said it.
Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon all day long.
Uh-oh.
I had this conversation with Will,
Oh no.
and he loves Behind the Mask. He loves it, and he was saying, "Well, how do I think it fares?" And I went through, and I was like, I'm looking at which ones I'll put it over, and The Strangers. I told him, I said, "Oh, dude, The Strangers is on here. I would put The Strangers over." So, yeah, I think The Strangers is a great film. Like, to not have it over it is
But
crazy.
that's just not a fact. We talked about The Strangers. It's not that good.
9.7 is what
You're
I gave
crazy with the nines, man.
Dude, I love that. I don't give out a lot of nines.
This whole bracket's full of like just bangers and Jeremy Melton. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Does anyone want to try to sway me? Here's the thing. Here's where I'm at with it. I feel like I remembered The Strangers very fondly for a while after I watched it. It had a huge like initial impact on me that I don't think Behind the Mask necessarily did at first. I
Mhm.
think Behind the Mask has aged a lot better like on rewatches.
Mhm. Because it's a better
Um,
movie.
Yeah, it doesn't have that like wow factor that The Strangers did for me, but it did like every time I watch The Strangers, I like it a little bit less.
Right. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like so to me, like I'm thinking about the last time I watched these movies,
Yeah.
and clearly to me, the Behind the Mask was a much better movie than The Strangers. The Strangers to me is mid at best.
I do think
Best,
The
please.
Strangers is scarier.
Oh,
I don't really have a category for that. Like I feel like it should do something, but I don't know what.
dude, that movie. And like we talked about Strangers recently, it became a thing on the show. I went over all of it, man. Like, this movie genuinely, like, even watching it after the however manyth time I've watched it, dude, it still gave me chills. Like, what that movie, whether, because it's the type of movie, like, yeah, when you're rewatching it, it's not going to scare you anymore because you know all of it that's coming. The way that it hit you that first time, dude, the impact that movie had. It's a top list horror movie, especially for its time, and I stand by that.
It's mid and kind of boring.
I love that movie, man. It was legitimately scary.
And I will throw this out there. If someone were asking me for a recommendation for a horror movie, I would probably think of The Strangers before I thought of Behind the Mask. It probably would not be the one I would recommend ultimately, though.
Yeah, but also if somebody's asking you for recommendations on horror movies, then they might not know a lot about horror movies. So Behind the Mask will be lost on that kind of person.
That's true.
Behind the Mask is just a different type of movie. Like, it's a more
It is a
fun
different
movie.
type
There,
of movie.
you know, you can rewatch it and enjoy it more because it's made for fun.
But I would argue that it is both more fun and better.
Better
Be
is
that as it
greater
may.
than fun.
Right, but I also think it's better. You know what I mean?
No way.
It takes
man.
more risks, I think. I do have my problems with this one. As we talked about in our episode, I think the mask is a little bit silly looking.
The
I
Mask
think it's
is a miss.
also silly that they don't get into why the mask looks the way that it does. But I think I have to go with Behind the Mask.
God,
Good for you, Kat. You're starting to redeem yourself.
It's close, but I think that's the
Shame
way I
on
have to
you.
go. I'm sorry.
I'll have you know this too, Kat.
That's how I feel.
Because we did both films, The Strangers, and we also talked about Behind the Mask.
Yeah.
You gave both of these movies a flat 7. You gave them the exact score.
That makes sense. I feel more or less the same. Like they have different strengths. It's hard to compare them.
What I give them, Mikey?
You gave The Strangers a 6.1. An embarrassment to
I can't believe it's that
everyone in
high.
the world.
That feels low.
I can't believe it either. You gave Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. You're giving me shit for 9s. You gave it a 9.1.
It's awesome.
Which
Yeah.
one
It's a
has the
good
higher
movie.
rating overall? Like, what's our
Oh, it had to
slasher
be
radio score?
because I wasn't a shithead to Behind the Mask like Rob was to The Strangers. The score is The Strangers got a 7.6, and Behind the Mask, this thing is hard to follow, got an 8.0 flat.
Okay.
I gave it a 7.9. I really like Behind the Mask a lot.
Good movie. A lot better than The Strangers.
Absolutely not. That's crazy.
More or
guys,
less
man.
the same as The Strangers.
I would say 3 whole points better than The Strangers.
You guys just knocked out a fucking a top tier film.
For another
Unbelievable.
top tier film, it's fine.
It was a tough matchup.
It was a tough matchup. That's
We
fair,
spent way
but
longer on
goddamn.
this matchup than I thought we were going to have to.
me too, honestly. I was
Me
hoping you guys
too.
were going to vote the same.
No, dude, there was no way that was. You knew he was going to vote for The Strangers.
I didn't know that.
My Bloody Valentine 2009. Excellent remake.
Also, gotcha.
Yes, also has Tom Atkins.
Drill
in
me.
Tom Atkins taking Will's button. Imagine.
it.
2 more matchups. This one and then 1 more after this. Oh
Ooh,
boy.
against Saw 2004.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I don't think this one's that hard.
It's very hard for me.
I don't think so. As much as I hate to knock out My Bloody Valentine, to me this is clearly Saw.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Like I
Pleasant
like the My Bloody
surprise.
Valentine remake. I think it's a really good remake of a really good movie, which is almost never done.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I guess it kind of loses points just for being a remake, honestly.
I can see that.
And Saw was something wholly original. And
Saw
the
did
first Saw
something
movie
new.
is very good. It's just all the other
It
ones are
is.
garbage. Like every single other one.
I want to point out you also like Saw 2.
Yeah,
we go through this every time. You always say that all of them are garbage, but you also like Saw 2.
Saw 2 is fun. But better is greater than fun.
Better is greater than fun.
Yeah.
That's how we ended up with Saw on the bracket,
Yeah, no,
and not Saw 2.
yeah, all right, fine. So Saw and Saw 2 are good. The other 8 are garbage.
Well, there we just differ, but
But nevertheless,
I'll take what I can get with.
yeah, my vote goes for Saw in this matchup. And it does pay me to knock out My Bloody Valentine in the first round because I do think it's a very good remake.
I am glad you guys didn't make me tie break this one. I appreciate the shit out of that. I'm gonna give it to My Bloody Valentine out of respect.
I'm
then.
really getting tired of you letting him off the hook.
Yeah, that would have been
You've done it
hard.
like twice tonight.
I am eternally grateful for the first one though, guys. The Killer Clowns and Chucky Child's Play one. They had that.
That was rough.
was
I should
nice
have
of you.
pretended to vote for Killer Clowns
Yeah.
just to shake things up a little bit.
Like I love Saw, but man, that My Bloody Valentine remake was so good. And I don't know if I would have went for Valentine though. And I love that franchise, if you can call it that. But
You can't call it that. You have to call it a franchise.
Yes.
no. All right, so I'll just give it the pity vote then and not think about it anymore. Fair enough.
All right.
All right, last matchup. Oh, The Ring.
It's a match made in hell.
Going up against American Psycho.
Who gives a shit, really? Can they both lose? Is that a possibility?
I actually was prepared to go into this wheel. I was prepared to go to bat for both of these movies because I felt like they were both going to be underdogs.
You're right about that.
I didn't know which one I was going to go to bat for harder because I didn't think it would come up. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like I'm the only one that likes both of these movies.
You might be the only person alive who likes both of these movies.
I gotta go American Psycho, man. It is a better movie.
So I've seen American Psycho exactly one time. And that was in the theater when it came out. And I hated it. Left the theater, absolutely hated it. I have seen The Ring a number of times. And it's gotten worse every single time I've watched it. I've liked it less than the time before. It's like a choice made in hell. What are you doing here, Kat?
I was hoping that you were gonna make me not tie break. Here's the thing, is that I like both of these movies. I think that American Psycho is like very clever. It's amusing. It's got a great cast. There were great performances. I like the soundtrack. I don't think that it's I and this is subjective. This is purely subjective. It's not scary. And that is something that that can sway my opinion on a
Is
movie.
The Ring scary?
I think The Ring is scarier than American Psycho.
The scary thing about The Ring is that it looks like it was shot through a Sprite bottle.
I like the story. I was a big fan of the book. I actually like the American Ring more than the Japanese Ring, I think, because they explain in the American one why it's 7 days before you die, which the Japanese one didn't really mess with. But they have that really good line in the American one where it's, he's like, how long can a woman survive in a well? That long, and she's like 7 days because she's figured it out, and she's having like that bonding moment with the ghost, which I think is cool. The visuals really get me from this one. I kind of like that urban legend aspect to it. It's just more my kind of movie at the end of the day.
Rob doesn't like the urban legend aspect, that's for sure.
He does not.
But also, like, when they find the dead people, they just look stupid. Yeah, it looks dumb. Are you voting for The Ring? Are you going to make me tie break this shit show?
I think I might make you tie break this because I feel like I'm leaning toward The Ring. I also it also did a lot of good and bad, I think, because I love that we got the wave of, like, after The Ring, Japanese horror movies became more accessible in America, and I got to watch a lot more of the originals that, like, while we were still doing DVDs, hadn't been accessible, now that we have streaming.
But we also got all those other shitty remakes, like The Grudge.
I was gonna say that's the downside
and
of
One
that.
Missed Call.
One Missed Call came out of this.
Shutter, whatever that fucking stupid camera one.
But I like Japanese horror movies, and The Ring I think is the one that we did justice to. Like, I like it a lot.
I don't know, man. I just like American Psycho. Like, it's got a cool vibe.
American Psycho is great.
All right, here's what I'm voting on potential here.
Okay.
And every time I watch The Ring, I hate it more than the last time I watched it. I've seen American Psycho once, so it has the most potential to improve. I'm voting for American Psycho.
All right.
Even though they both suck.
They don't both suck. These are both good movies.
One day I'll watch American Psycho again, and then I'll determine whether or not I like it.
You can watch the remake this year, apparently.
Yeah, we'll rush right out to see that. Remember that movie I didn't like the first time? Thank God they're making it again.
To be fair, that's how they should remake movies, except for the issue with that one is that you're the only one that thinks that American Psycho needs remake, that doesn't think it hit the mark the first time.
Yeah, it really didn't hit the mark the first time. God damn, I was so mad when I left the theater that day. Fucking kidding me.
All right, round 1 is complete. Next week we start round 2. These do not get any easier.
No.
To be fair, some of them might, because the wheel
I was gonna say
makes the matches in the first round tough, but then sometimes that makes things in the second round a little easier to deal with.
While I'm doing like silver lining stuff here, Mikey, you actually made my next week a lot easier, because Martyrs was going to put me in a tough spot later on in this bracket.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Sometimes it's better they go.
Yeah.
Like and that's the painful truth of it.
Sometimes dead is better.
Sometimes dead is better. And that's the truth of it, because some of these aren't gonna fucking last forever, but it's just, you hope they do well, and
the further they get along, the more sad it is sometimes to lose them.
Or sometimes dead is better. Head over to patreon.com/radio. The video version of last week's Murder Madness is up on YouTube right now, so you can go to youtube.com/radio, check that out. We just got partnered on there, so if you aren't subscribed, you might want to go over there, check that out. There's going to be more content on there Our interview with Matthew Cote is still up right now. You can still go listen to that, talk to everything, all things Wicked, and a lot of DVD stuff in general. Patreon.com/radio. I don't remember if I said that already. Tiers starting as low as $3 a month. Can't get a 1 week free trial. You get an extra show every week. You get behind, before, during, and after random stuff that doesn't make the show. All visuals go up on Patreon, all that stuff. So you can head over and check that out.
Tiers as low as $3 a month. That is 75 cents a week. You can feed a podcaster for only 75 cents a week.
Facts. And follow us on Twitter at Slasher Radio as well. So make sure you subscribe and follow everywhere you're listening to the show. And we are available. I am at Mikey's Dead. You can check out the other show that I do with Little Miss Huge Clown Penis.
Huge Clown Penis.
Called Cult FM. We've had a lot going on lately, so things are starting to calm down a little bit. We'll be back to that soon. And that's it for me. What about you, Rob?
You can find me on Twitter at Radio Rob123. And you can listen to the other show that I do with Kat, the Nick fucking Woo Cagecast. That would be Nick effing Woo if you're looking for it in your podcast player. We invite you to come along and listen to that as well. Everybody except for Damien Maffei.
Wow.
He can't
And
even
me.
listen now, apparently.
He's not allowed to listen, no.
He's not even allowed to I'm still allowed to listen though, right?
Yeah, you can.
I
We
feel
need
like
an
you
Italian
can because we
consultant.
talk shit about you at the end sometimes, and I enjoy that, knowing that you hear it.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that. You cut that shit out. All right. Damien go here and he goes, all right, okay, you guys starting some shit now. I like it. Kat, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at cat_Valor. You can check out my website, catvalor.com. I was going to say you could get my book on sale this weekend, but I think it ends the day that this episode comes out. So maybe don't do that one. But do come find me in Williamsburg on April 12th through the 14th for AuthorCon.
Yeah, come by, say hello, I'll sign your book.
Let Rob sign my book for
Yes.
you.
Cat will not.
Actually, anyone's book.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll sign anything. It doesn't matter. $25, I'll take a selfie with you.
Imagine Rob signing a Stephen King book, Kat.
Yeah, whatever.
He would.
Got that new Grady Hendrix novel? Bring it over, I'll sign it.
I am not the great pumpkin. Rob Humphrey. P.S.
And where are my balls?
All right, guys, we'll be back with round 2 next week. The following week, we'll have rounds 3 and 4. Good night. Slasher Radio.
All the best of Slasher Radio podcast.